Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Unity Halt and Peel. We're so delighted to have you with us this morning, and we look forward to sharing this hour with you. And we have our guest speaker this morning is Reverend Dr. Jane Simmons from out west. I hope she's a lot warmer than we are here at -18. So let's repeat our mission statement together. Our mission: to lovingly inspire transformation and be of service to the world. And we would ask, Ruth Ellen, are you the Daily Word reader this morning?
Yes, I am.
Go for it, then. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good morning for Sunday, February the 8th. The title is Determination. My determination takes me far. In every person's life, there will be times of ease and times of struggle. In the tougher times, it's natural to feel discouraged and tempted to give up on plans and dreams. When discouragement sets in, I remember I am fully human and fully divine, a spiritual being endowed with many divine gifts. I fortify myself by invoking my innate qualities of strength and power. They give me the determination to keep going, to stay the course. I can use my body and mind to accomplish what I set out to do. But I also know there is to me than I also know there is more to me than that. The attributes of God are mine to use. I believe in myself and move forward with determination. And from First Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8, so deeply do we care for you that we are determined to share with you not only the gospel of God, but also our own selves, because you have become very dear to us.
Thank you, Ruth Ellen.
You're welcome.
And our opening song this morning, excuse me, I'm Choosing Heaven Today by Ricky Byers. And this is a fun song.
I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing joy today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing peace today. I'm choosing peace today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing peace today. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing heaven today.
So, our affirmation for the year 2026, let's just repeat this together and bring ourselves to a point of centering and looking towards our year. Can't believe it's already February. We at Unity Halt and Peel are blessed with an abundantly thriving community. It is done, and so it is. And during the month of February, our affirmation is love. Our thoughts are to be loving. So we read this together. If we would draw to us love, we must be love. Be loving and kind. Charles Filmer, Unity co-founder. Beautiful. What a gorgeous picture. And our affirmations for February. I'll read it pause and ask you to read it again with me. So, inner peace. Divine peace flows in my mind and my heart. And together, divine peace flows in my mind and my heart. Wisdom. Centered in divine wisdom, I trust the whispers of truth. Together, centered in divine wisdom, I trust the whispers of truth. Wholeness. One with God, I choose life, wholeness, and well being. Together, one with God, I choose life, wholeness, and well being. Strength. God is my strength. I am steadfast and courageous. And together, God is my strength. I am steadfast and courageous. Blessings. Awakened in divine love, I am a blessing. Together, awakened in divine love, I am a blessing. Well, I hope you're feeling the love this morning. That was beautiful. And while we're in meditation and prayers during the month of February, please remember Unity Spiritual Center, Ottawa, and Unity of Calgary Spiritual Community, and all of our Unity brothers and sisters. Opening prayer, I'm going to turn over to Dr. Reverend Jane Simmons and ask her to lead in opening prayer, and we'll carry on with our service from there. So, go ahead,
Good morning,
Jane.
everyone. Happy to do this opening prayer. And I love what it says here, that I pray, trusting Spirit to know what is best for all those for whom I pray. I trust in Spirit. And so we open ourselves to that truth, that our real power lies in trusting Spirit, in allowing Spirit to move through us, to be guided by that Spirit. And when we open up like that, we become a vessel. We become the avenue through which Spirit can show up on the planet. And so as we join together this morning, we take a moment to devote this time to this greater knowing that we are the hands and the heart of God in action, and that we are guided in all ways to be the presence of love on this planet, to be the presence of peace, to bring forth love and compassion in our world. So for this time together, for this work that we do, for these principles that really can change our lives and change this world, we are grateful. And so it is. Well, good morning, everyone. It's always good to be with you. It's a delight to be with my Canadian friends. I tell you that every time, but it's true every time. And so I just want you to know how much I love coming and hanging out with you. And I want to start with there's a wonderful children's story, and it's about a fish who sets out to find in a search for water. And it's a wonderful children's book. I highly recommend it. But the fish, he hears all this amazing stuff about water, what it is. It sounds very intriguing. And he thinks, I think this is the very thing that I'm searching for, that can quench my soul. So he's continuing to look. So he travels for days and days and days. No luck. He just can't seem to find this thing called water. One day he looks up and he sees birds flying up in the sky. And he says, that must be where I have to go to find water. And so he jumps out of the water and immediately discovers that's the wrong thing to do. Not very good. So he can't breathe. And then luckily gravity just takes over and pulls him back down. And he realizes when he lands in the water, I've been immersed in it all along. And it's such a great analogy for us. My talk title is Presence, Power. And we want to talk about how we are immersed in presence at the moment, and to really explore what what is the power that comes through us when we are aware of that truth, when we are being present, totally present to the one presence, the one power, the one life that is living itself as through and as each one of us right now. When we become totally present to that, what happens to us? As Unity has on their website, God is everywhere and always present in every circumstance. The divine energy underlies and animates all of existence. It's a beautiful way of talking about the one presence, one power. So we're filled with this power, and yet we're surrounded and enfolded in it as well. Some talk about this as the three faces of God. So there's the intimate God, which is the one that is within our own hearts. There's the immanent God. Then there's the intimate God, which means I see it reflected back in every pair of eyes. So one is God is within me, God is within you. And then the transcendent is beyond both of us. It is the field within which we are expressing the truth of who we are. Everywhere present. So it's indwelling, and yet we are enfolded by it. It's a paradox, really, for us. And so one of the first insights I took from this fish tale is what I may be searching for is right here, right now. And so think about in your own life, is there anything you're kind of searching for to quench your soul? And then, what is it outside of yourself? Maybe you are trying to find something that's going to scratch that itch for you, right? And yet, when we get to the realization that, oh, it's here all the time, I don't have to be searching out there for it. Another takeaway is when I'm feeling that sense of separation, as the fish did when he jumped out of the water, what a golden opportunity that is to reconnect with the oneness. You see, when I'm suddenly feeling disconnected from it, that is the exact time that I want to reconnect. I want to come home to myself. It's a wonderful opportunity to do that if I use it in that way. So when I'm fully present in mind, in body, I will start to view the world from my wholeness. I start to see the world differently. So when I'm feeling fully present to whatever's showing up, I can now experience life in a much greater way. I start to feel the actual aliveness of the now moment. So just let that sink in for a minute. Are you feeling the aliveness of this now moment? And we want to get to the place where we are so in love with this moment, there is nowhere else we'd rather be. I love that. I'm so in love with this moment. There's nowhere else I want to be. No other time, no other place, here and now, just fully present. And that doesn't necessarily mean that what's happening right now is wonderful and joyful. If I love Brother Lawrence's story. He found his bliss washing these pots and pans, and he was in this state of bliss no matter what was going on, no matter what was arising, no matter what task or drudgery that he might be engaged in. And that kind of presence brings with it a deep gratitude that is the birthplace of joy. I love that. Gratitude that is the birthplace of joy. And that grateful joy is independent of the situations or the circumstances that are showing up. It just is, regardless of what I'm dealing with. I remember hearing Michael Brown, the author of the book, The Presence Process, describe gratitude very poetically as the fragrance of the present moment. And that really landed for me. I really love it. This now moment is saturated with the fragrance of gratitude. When I am totally present, I can't help but be in a state of gratitude. When I'm aware of the presence of God that is here now, gratitude is just the normal response. So this joyful gratitude is our natural state. And you know what? It takes a whole lot of energy to stop the flow from happening. So feel your body right now. Are you completely relaxed, open? Are you allowing the beauty of the moment to saturate your being? Or can you find some tension maybe in your shoulders, your neck? What's going on inside of you? Because we will free up so much internal energy when we are allowing the flow to happen, when our nervous systems are calm and energized and regulated at the same time. And I'm learning to catch myself whenever I shut down, whenever I go into sleepwalking mode. And here's how I do it. I will suddenly notice that I am much more involved in an internal drama than I am with the actual experience. There's a whole lot more going on behind the curtain here, and it's disconnecting me from what I'm experiencing. So when we're stuck, behind the curtain of our own drama, we will start to replay a story about whatever's happening, but life itself will just continue to arise in every single moment. And my experience of my life is now determined by my internal state, by my focus. And so if I'm washing pots and pans, but I have an internal ticker tape moving across my mental screen that says, I always get stuck with these dishes. Somebody else has to take a turn, or look at this mess. This is going to take me forever to clean this up. If I'm stuck with that kind of mental attitude, am I going to be vibrating with joy as I do these dishes? Yeah, not likely. But here's the good news. We really do have control over how we experience our lives. We truly do. And I just love Brother Lawrence's story. It's one of my favorites. I can picture him whistling while he's scrubbing floors and just so immersed in the joy of the moment that he's feeling total bliss. And I don't know about you, but that's the kind of energy I want to be feeling no matter what I'm doing in my day to day tasks. I'd want to be alive with joy without the negative self talk that usually accompanies whatever it is I'm doing. It's wasting my time and I don't have time. That's a big one for me. Oh, I don't have time for this. So if I'm immersed in, let's say, regrets about the past, feeling shame or guilt or painful memories, if I'm really stuck there, or if I'm thinking ahead to the future and I'm worrying about the future, I'm feeling fear, anticipation, maybe even glory, thinking about how wonderful it's going to be when I get there. If I'm stuck in that thinking, if I'm believing those thoughts, it will keep me involved in this running commentary. And that will keep me from experiencing oneness. It'll keep me from experiencing life from my wholeness, from the higher self. So being present is the difference between playing in a football game and watching it on TV. It's the difference between the two. And when you're watching it on TV, we usually have commentators who are telling us the play by play. Now, many of us will be doing that this afternoon as we watch the Super Bowl. You may not have noticed, but I'm wearing Seahawks colors today. If I was Seattle Seahawks, the whole state of Washington is quite, Seahawk crazy right now. If I was speaking in Spokane, I'd definitely be wearing this. I have to just put this in. Sorry, little affirmation. um, but isn't it interesting how we listen to someone else tell us what's happening rather than being present and seeing it for ourselves? We have narrators, MCs, commentators. I can remember one time um, watching a football game with my dad years ago, and they were trying out not having a commentator. I don't know if any of you remember this. It's got to be at least 30 years ago or more. And I don't remember why they were doing that. I just remember that they went ahead with the game and they had no one doing any talking. Now, everything about that game was normal. There were two opposing teams. They were dressed in uniforms on a field. They had a crowd, cheerleaders, goalposts, football, everything was there. However, it was the weirdest game I ever saw. I was so used to hearing a voice telling me what's happening, I honestly could hardly watch it. I was actually lost without the voice narrating the action for me, and it felt weird. And I realized my mind does the same thing. It's always recounting the story, it's commentating on what's happening out there. And it has the effect of keeping me from being fully engaged. That's what keeps the joy locked up, you see. So, are we experiencing our life as a documentary with narration, or do we dive right in and actually live each moment? Michael Singer asks a great question. He says, "Are you living life or living mind?" And he calls the inner commentator our insane roommate that shares space in our heads, right? And um, and here's what living mind can feel like. It can feel like we're trapped with some insane roommate who is offering us this steady diet of fear, judgment, harshness, timetables, schedules, have tos. You don't have enough time. It's just this running commentary. And what it's doing is trying to put mystery in a box. Here we have this amazing life. Life itself is just a mystery. And the internal commentator is trying to put it in a box, tie it up with a nice neat bow, and control. Let's control this. Presence, on the other hand, whoa, presence is wild. It's messy, it's creative, it's colors outside the lines. And it might sound scary to like we're walking on the wild side here when we allow presence to just, bring its creativity forward. But here's where the safety lies, right here. When I tap into the flow of presence, surrender to its guidance, allow it to guide me, ultimately quieting this commentator, I can dive deep into the mystery and I'm safe there. And we can only do that if we're living in the present moment, only that. Otherwise, guess what? We miss the gifts that are right in front of our faces right now. We're looking ahead or we're looking behind, and we miss what the beauty that's right here, right now. I read the story about a couple, they were on a road trip, having a great time. And after a long day, they finally stopped for the night. They checked into their room and then they left to find dinner. And the first restaurant they went to was so dark and dingy. It took time for their eyes to adjust, but then they could see how dirty it was. So they just went, no, they left. The second place they walked into, they were greeted by cigarette smoke, a wall of cigarette smoke. This is back in the day when such a thing actually would happen. You go to eat, um, and so they turned around and walked out. The third place, the music was so loud they could see people kind of shouting to each other beside each other to try to be heard. They decided against that. So they headed back to their room, still hungry. It was a couple hours had gone by. And when they got back, they noticed something they hadn't seen before. Their tiny little restaurant that was next door, just this little place. They went in. Wow, it was well lit, clean, smoke free. Staff was friendly. They had quick service. The food was excellent. It was right there all the time. And that's kind of what we do when we look outside of ourselves for the gifts that are already here. Already here. In the book of John 4:35, words attributed to Jesus, he says, "Do not say that there are yet 4 months and then comes the harvest. I tell you, lift up your eyes, open your eyes, see how the fields are already white for harvest." It's a really beautiful passage. In fact, Alan Cohen calls this passage a metaphysical bombshell. I love that. And that basically means that the potentiality is here now. If I'm feeling a lack of abundance, for instance, in my life, I don't need to go get more money. I need to open my eyes to the recognition that the abundance surrounds me right now. The fields are ripe for harvest right now. You will never have more potential to experience wholeness than you do right now in this very moment. You'll never be closer to joy and complete happiness than you are in this moment. See, you'll never you'll never have more opportunity to be peace in action than you do right now. But when we look to another moment, because we don't particularly want to be in this one, we may spend time reminiscing about the past or anticipating the future. This precious now moment slips away unlived. Slips away unlived. George Foreman points out that it's wonderful to recall the good times and the moments in your life, but he says to do so, you have to be present the first time around, right? You can't revisit a happy moment if you weren't there in the first place. So it comes back to Dan Millman's, famous words: there are no ordinary moments, none. If we don't live this moment, we are not living our life. And what happens? We become absentee landlords, right? Then this unconscious default operating system takes over. This is what happens when I'm not being present. The ego slips in, takes the wheel, says, I got this, and off we go on autopilot. And now the limiting beliefs that have been unconscious start running the show, and they slow us right down. And so it's the antidote to having this happen is to catch ourselves and become present again. Stay present, stay focused. And when we do that, we become free of unconscious behavior. It's how we switch allegiance from our ego to our higher self. And that is to catch yourself sleepwalking and bring yourself back to the moment. Just bring yourself, it's mindfulness in action. So, what if we made our goal to be fully awake and joyous? Wake up, and here's my goal for today: I'm going to be fully awake and joyous. And in every single moment of my day. And let's see how that goes. Not to have a certain amount of money so I'm joyous, not to lose X amount of pounds, I'll be joyous, not to get specific things accomplished, but to be aware and joyful in all things right now, at the weight I'm in, with the money that I have. I can be joyful first and live a life of joy. Now, there is a goal to aim for, in my opinion. So let me ask you something. Have you ever met someone who I would say has presence power? Presence power. Have you ever been around joyously grateful people? When I read about Brother Lawrence, I can feel his bliss. I can feel it. One of my very beloved classmates in ministerial school was a woman from the Dominican Republic named Xiomara. Xiomi, as we called her, had the most joyful smile. She radiated gratitude all the time. And it was always so welcoming to be in her presence. Always. I always felt loved and unconditionally cared for whenever I sat and talked to Xiomara. And it didn't matter what was going on in her life. She was in joy. In joy. So do you have someone like that? Do you have anybody that you're drawn to like a magnet? Someone who radiates unconditional love, peace, compassion, someone who's present, fully alive? Guess what? I have just described your true self. That is your true self. It's naturally, joyously grateful. So we're always in the presence of our higher self. We always are. But we've just been so mesmerized by the commentators' play by play that eclipses the truth of who we are. See? So when you read about people who've had some kind of breakthrough moment where the voice is suddenly silenced, it's so inspiring to read or to hear about how they were startled into awakening to the reality of being in the presence right now. And, we've got some great examples. I know I've talked about them before, but I think they're just so wonderful to revisit. My favorite, Byron Katie, who was a self-described rageaholic and found herself in a halfway house for women with addictions. Her level of shame and guilt was so high that she slept on the floor because she didn't believe that she deserved to be in a bed. But she awoke one morning and was free from the tyranny of this inner critic that had just constant onslaught. And she got up off the floor, she went home, and she started questioning every thought as it arose. Is it true? Is it true? And realized none of the stressful thoughts she was thinking were true. And she refused to believe them and became joyful in her life, loving what is. There's her book. She started loving what is and, stayed in joy. Of course, Eckhart Tolle is another wonderful example. He was in a deep depression. He was suicidal when he had a similar breakthrough. And his thoughts suddenly quieted. It's like all of a sudden quiet. And he realized the same thing, that believing stressful thoughts is the root of suffering. And we read all about this, of course, in his classic book, The Power of Now. So the good news for us is we don't have to be in the throes of such deep suffering in order to have a breakthrough. We can have a deliberate, intentional practice that helps us to unmask the illusion of separateness. And this practice begins by identifying when limiting beliefs are running the show. When I find myself on autopilot and suddenly I'm being taken by these beliefs, I stop and I realize that these beliefs are behind the illusion of separation. It's what's fueling them. And so I stop by becoming aware of the belief. It's like, oh, this is the belief I'm unlovable again. And it's running this show. And I'm feeling less than, and I'm feeling like I don't belong because it's this mistaken, uh, faulty, limiting belief that says I'm unlovable. And now, when I can see it, when I can sort of step back and witness it rather than looking through it as the filter of my life, I now have the spaciousness to make a new choice. I can do that. I have the opportunity. And I do that with compassion, self compassion, right? I think about self compassion when I realize how hurtful it is to, to have a belief I'm unlovable and how hurtful that is. And I want to really be tender in that moment towards myself. And when I do, I can see the ego's antics. I start to see them, and they're not dragging me away anymore. They're not dragging me away. And so I continue with this open-hearted tenderness towards myself and let my heart lead as I take some kind of an authentic action that demonstrates a more life-affirming belief. If I thought I was lovable, what would I do? And then I do it. I had a practice for a while when I discovered this belief of being unlovable. Every morning when I got up, I'd look in the mirror and there's my hair all over, and but I'd look and I go, oh God, you're so lovable. And I'd talk to myself the way I would my grandson, that I would pick up and just, oh God, you're so lovable. And I started to treat myself that way until I could look in the mirror and see the love there. And that belief stopped fueling my experience. In fact, we keep doing it over and over until the neural architecture shifts. And now this lovability becomes our new baseline. See, that's how it works. And hey, it takes practice. Have you noticed? I mean, some of those beliefs are pretty sticky, they hang around for a while. They might appear more than once. And especially if we've had them for decades, you know. I've had that one for over half a century, that I'm unlovable. So to get that changed, it took some work. So it's all about, though, coming back to the present, remembering that these behaviors are fueled by unconscious limiting beliefs that only show up when I'm on autopilot. They can only have their effect if I'm not present. You see? Are you seeing how presence power works? In our fish story, there's a third point that's important to see. We don't have to struggle to find presence. It's here. We don't have to struggle. I saw this cartoon the other day and I loved it. It's Sisyphus on vacation. And it just cracked me up, this whole idea of having a big beach ball and a sand dune rather than pushing the boulder up the hill. So, we want to be gentle with ourselves, but realize, stop the struggle. We don't have to prove ourselves. We don't have to improve ourselves. We don't have to do anything like that to find ourselves in the presence of God. We're already there. As Richard Rohr puts it, you can't get there. You can only be there. So we're swimming in presence right now, and we don't have to struggle to find it. Jack Kornfield, I love what he says, being in the presence, it's not a grim duty. It's a rediscovery of love and the beauty within us. So when I immerse myself in presence, when I completely trust that oneness has my back, that I can trust it, I begin to bow to every experience. I bow to every experience as a gift. It's a potential gift, and I learn to welcome every experience and look for the good. And I do that by sinking into this now moment, knowing there are no ordinary ones. Every moment is precious. Every moment is saturated with divine potential and possibility. And maybe right now, the answer to a prayer occurs to you. Maybe in this moment, you experience presence. Every presence, every moment offers the ability to experience presence. Life is a series of moments. And if they're all being avoided, or if I'm trading them for the past or the future, that becomes my life, a life of avoidance, a life that I wasn't really there. And we miss it. We miss our lives. So, in order to connect with this present moment, let's take some time right now and begin to focus on the breath. I want to share with you a centering that Anita Morjani, another person who experiences presence, has shared. She calls this staying centered in a turbulent world. So I'm going to invite us all to take a moment to settle into our seats, wherever you are, wherever you find yourself. Just sink down deep into your body. And if you want to sit and if you want to close your eyes, go ahead. If you just want to lower your gaze, whatever works for you. Let your body, though, find a comfortable position. You want to really be comfortable for this. And begin to bring your attention to your breath. Don't change it. Don't control it. Just notice. Just notice it. Feel the inhale arrive. Feel the exhale leave. Feel the inhale arrive and the exhale leave. Now gently bring your awareness to your body. Feel the soles of your feet. If they're planted on the floor, notice what that feels like. However they are, just notice. Feel the surface that's supporting you. Whether it's a chair or whatever you're sitting in, wherever you're sitting, just feel the support. Let your shoulders soften. Notice how much tension we hold in our bodies. Let your jaw unclench. Notice if it's clenched. Imagine a state of stillness at your center. Just imagine that, right behind your heart. This stillness does not need effort. It's always been there. Focus on that place of stillness. It's the eye of the storm. No matter what is happening in the outer world, there is a place of peace eternally residing within you. If any thoughts arise, just let them drift by. You don't need to follow them. You don't need to hang on to them. You don't need to resist them. Silently remind yourself, I am here now. I am safe in this moment. I am surrounded and enfolded in divine love. Feel the warmth of presence. Notice your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Our hearts open in gratitude to the one presence, the one power that lives within, as, through each one of us, that shines forth from every pair of eyes. And as each one of us awakens to this truth of who we are, gratitude is the fragrance that arises. I am here now. I am sustained and carried by the beauty of presence. I'm here to be the one to make the difference in my world today, to bring this peaceful stillness into my world, my family, my community, whatever it is. We give thanks for the opportunity to be stillness in action, to be peace, to bring peace, and to make the difference wherever we find ourselves. Stay for one more breath. And when you're ready, gently return to this moment. And so it is. Amen.
This day is a witness to my sacred purpose, to all that I'm meant to be. This day is a witness to my sacred purpose, to all that I'm meant to be. Letting it in, letting it flow, letting it go where it will go, letting the power of your presence show the way. Letting it in, letting you know, I'm letting you lead, that I might follow, being a witness to your presence every day. This soul is a witness to my holy purpose, to all that I soul is a witness to my holy purpose, to all that I'm born to be. Letting it in, letting it flow, letting it go where it will go, letting the power of your presence show the way. Letting it in, letting you know, letting you lead, that I might follow, being a witness to your presence every day. This life is a witness to my rightful purpose, to all that I've come to be. This life is a witness to my rightful purpose, to all that I've come to be. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love for all my life. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love for all my life. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love for all my life. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love for all my life. For all my life. La 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 la.
Such a great, great tune. I love that song. Ah, thank you, Jane. Beautiful song, beautiful message. Just to be present. Hmm. You reminded me of a couple of favorite books, that Eckhart Tolle, that In the Now. Boy, that had a lot of impact in my own journey with Unity. So thank you for reminding me. Unity Prayer Chaplains. Diane Riley is online with us this morning. Thank you, Diane, for always being present. And your requests are held in confidence with Diane and sent to Unity Halton Prayer Team for 30 days, 24/7. They're held in love and light and all that needs to happen. And then Diane will send them on to Unity Village, where they're prayed over for another 30 days. Please send your prayer request to Diane either through the chat, or you can send an email to praywithdiane@gmail.com. And at any time, don't hesitate to call the church office. That's the number 289-707-3306. I will make sure a message gets to Diane. Or we have the Unity prayer line, which is in the newsletter every week. It's on the website, and Diane often posts it in the chat as well. So please look for it there. We are a prayer ministry, and we know that prayer works. Thank you so much for your continued support financially to this ministry. We can do what we do on Sunday mornings because of your generosity and support, and I'm so very grateful. We thank you all. Let's take a moment now and share that gratitude with each other through this prayer. Divine love now flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. and it is a blessing wherever it goes. So it is. Unity Halt and Peel. Traditionally, every month we share our gifts with Eden Food for Change, which centers in Mississauga and the Peel area, and Unity Canada. It's very important, the work that both of these organizations do to support our movement and the people that we are here to serve. During the, mark your calendars, annual general meeting on Sunday, March 8th. So a month away, and we're already at the annual general meeting, and we welcome you. We will be conducting the meeting immediately following service, so you might want to think about having a light lunch or a snack ready to go. We usually take a pause for 10 or 15 minutes and then begin the meeting right after. Debbie Long will be with us next Sunday. The Power of Faith to Heal. So looking forward to having Debbie with us. She's out west as well. She's in BC right now. So she'll be joining us online 3 hours earlier than usual for her. And Sunday, February 22nd, Reverend Barbara Jean Schreiner Trudell will join us again. It's nice to have her back in our lineup of speakers. It's always entertaining. The courage to think a new thought. So I started to lean into this, but I'll remind you that during the month of February, the coldest night of the year. Now that's to be debated because we're having some pretty cold days and nights right now. We were minus 30 on Thursday. That is cold. At any rate, traditionally between 4 and 6 o'clock on February 28th, which is the last Saturday of the month, teams get together under the Eden Food for Change, and they have teams that walk and raise money to do some extra fundraising for Eden Food for Change throughout the year. And we've had representation in the past. That isn't the case this year, but we're still going to support one of the teams through Eden Food for Change. And I want you to know this is not just Mississauga. This is an international organization. My family, I have 5 family members in Fort Erie that are walking for brain injury in the community living down there because they sponsor the coldest night of the year in that area. And I have a cousin walking in Sarnia. So it's near and dear to my heart to see my family out there supporting the community this way, and to see my Unity family supporting it through these gifts, these extra gifts that you send in. I'm so grateful for them. We've already actually had $25 come in, and all you do is in your memo, when you're sending your automatic transfer to us, you just put in the memo that you'd like a portion of it to go to the coldest night of the year, and the rest of it will go to the general fund. So that way we can make you be part of the sharing there. If you're looking to renew your newsletter or join us and want to know more information about us, please go to our website, unityhaltandteal.ca, and you will find there any resources for information related to activities coming up, and it'll ways to reach us and what's happening on Sunday. It'll also give you the YouTube connection. So if there's any one of the services that you'd like to see after the Sunday morning, they're there, and they won't have interruptions for computer problems. Wendy fixes that up for us all the time. So grateful for Wendy and her abilities in this. And at this time, we'll take a moment to bless the children of the world. And I just happen to know there's a little girl was born yesterday morning at 6:28. My brother has become a great grandfather for the 3rd time. And this time a little girl. So children and youth of Unity and of the world, we love you, we bless you, and we appreciate you just the way you are. I'm certainly grateful for the children in my life and my family. So the prayer of protection, let's repeat this prayer together. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is. I am divine. And our closing song, Sue K. Riley, I Choose Love.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us, that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one loving family, sharing one sun. I choose love. Yes, I do. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one choice unites us. Let this be the one. I choose love. I choose love. I choose